Hey guys, welcome to People Talk Now.
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 Changing the pace on what we call better days. Changing the pace on what people call better days.
Changing the pace on what people are calling better days.
Changing the pace on what people are calling better days.
Changing the pace on what people are calling better days.
Hello, and welcome to People Talk Now. I'm your host, Vanessa Herrera, and this is a show where you ask about it, and I talk about it. And let's not forget, you guys, that we are constantly, it seems, trying to change the pace out there on what people are calling better days. So yes, good morning and welcome. So yeah, I hope everybody's doing good, that everybody's feeling positive, and that you are just constantly working towards your dreams, because I know I have not stopped. It doesn't matter the good, the positive, the bad, the ugly. I'm still here. I'm still believing. I'm still having that faith, and I'm doing what I love, and I just am always hoping and wishing the best for all of you guys that watch me, that you're picking up something and that it's motivating you. So for today's episode 74, yes, you read that right, episode 74 today. I wanted to talk about ways to, simple ways to relieve stress, and anxiety, things that may be worrying you, simple things, and this is like a topic that, I kind of tend to always go back into it and discuss it, because it's something that people deal with on a daily, especially, since, 2020 and then going into 2021, and just, not still having those day-to-day battles of like stress and anxiety, and I'm just gonna dive right into it. We're not gonna wait, we're just gonna dive right into it. So the first thing is exercise. I know you guys constantly always see me bring this up, right? But it's true. Exercise is so vital, it's so important for our mind and for our health. Some of you might think to yourself, well, why would I put my body through physical stress? Right? Because you're like, I don't want to work out, or maybe you're not a workout type of person, but believe it or not, putting yourself through, not a vigorous workout, but anything that's just mild that gets your heart going, it's just that relieve more of the mental stress. That's what I'm trying to say. It's going to help relieve that stress that you're feeling. You're just going to feel good, and obviously those things, there's a few reasons behind that. Those reasons are stress hormones, sleep, and confidence. So those are like, the three things that behind that, that getting regular exercise, how it can help. Exercise lowers your stress hormones. Most of the time why we end up getting super stressed is because our hormones end up going like over the top, and we're not having that under control and regulated. Sleep, is so important to us, and most of us are not getting it because, we're waking up in the middle of the night, answering phone calls that we shouldn't be answering texts that we shouldn't, looking on our social medias. That blue light's messing us up. That blue light's messing up our sleep. Exercise definitely can improve your sleep quality. Our sleep definitely on a daily basis can always be affected negatively by stress and anxiety. If you're going through that, obviously it's going to affect the way you sleep. And we all know that if you don't get enough sleep, you're not going to feel good about yourself. And that kind of goes into your confidence, right? So when you exercise regular on the daily, you're going to feel more competent. You're going to feel more confident in your body, which in turn is going to promote a good mental well-being for yourself. It's okay for you to find a routine or something that works for you. You just have to find what works for you. There's so many, I always tell you guys, there's so many videos that you can find on YouTube. You can even sign up for a class at your gym and things like that. So you just gotta open up your window of activities, Even if you can't do any of those things, just go for a walk or a jog. Even those repetitive movements, and particularly in your large muscle groups like your legs and stuff like that, and your stomach, is that it's gonna promote a stress relieving chemical into your brain. So that's definitely something that you want to strive towards. I would definitely suggest it. I'm a big advocate. You guys know me. Some of you know me for years. You guys know that no matter what I'm going through life, definitely working out, exercise is a huge part of my life. Like, it's something that just definitely makes me feel good, and that's why I'm always promoting it to people. I'm not telling everybody to go and pick up extremely heavy weights and, get a hernia or anything like that. I'm just saying that do something that's fun for you, do something that works, but ultimately that's going to help you in the long run, Number 2, consider supplements. Now, what do I mean by that? Sometimes, because a lot of the times when we stress, it's because of like obviously chemicals that are going on in the brain, we're not able to control those things. And sometimes some of the reasons behind that is that because we are lacking certain minerals and things in our body. If you find that through your diet you're not getting a lot of certain things in your diet, try lemon balm. Lemon balm is a member of the mint family that has been studied for its anti-anxiety effect. So try lemon balm. Omega-3 fatty acids is definitely like a really important one. So getting omega-3 fatty acids, it gives you 20% reduction in anxiety symptoms. So we're getting down to the nitty-gritty science of these things. Ashwagandha, that's kind of like I believe that's a mushroom. So it's an herb used in medicine to treat stress and anxiety. Several studies have suggested that it's actually really effective. Green tea contains antioxidants which provide health benefits for you. Always drink your green tea. It lowers your serotonin levels. Valerian root is a popular sleep aid due to its tranquilizing effect. So it contains an acid that alters the gamma in your brain receptors to lower anxiety. Kava, okay? Kava is a psychoactive member of the pepper family, right? So if you're really into your herbs and stuff, look this up. Long used as a sedative in the South Pacific, and it's increasingly used in Europe in the US to treat mild stress and anxiety. So definitely look up those symptoms, and I obviously highly encourage you to look up things online, to not be a victim, to take your power back. So that's like one of the things, like look online, find out things that are going to help you and start working there. If maybe you can't exercise, at least start with the supplements, things that are natural and that are going to help aid your brain to not work against you. Number 3, light a candle, get that feng shui, get that vibe right. Some scents are especially soothing. So here are some calming scents that I can suggest. So number 1 is lavender, obviously because lavender is just one of those calming sleep aids. It just calms our body. I have a really funny story about that. So one time me and my sister-in-law, we went like on a walk, one of those nature walks around your neighborhood and stuff. We had plucked out some lavender from a neighbor like up the street. Came home and boiled it. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I don't know what the heck happened to us, but we passed out. For an hour and a half, we cannot account for what happened to us. It's funny, but like not funny because we were just like, what was in that, and we're just like, there's probably some pesticides and stuff on there, who knows, but like we drank it. Rose, vetiver, bergamot, chamomile is always a really good one. Sandalwood, orange or orange blossom, these are just scents that have been proved in studies that the aromatherapy actually can decrease anxiety symptoms and actually help you improve your sleep, which ultimately is good because we know that when we're not rested, we're just not feeling good. We're grouchy, we're yelling at people, we're just all over the place, and we can't focus. So we need that focus back. Number 4, this is a really big one. If you're a type of person that stresses out a lot, or you get anxious and stuff, I would definitely suggest reduce your caffeine intake as much as possible because caffeine is definitely a stimulant that's found in coffee, tea, chocolate, energy drink, and pretty much very high doses of it. It's going to make you feel either super stressed because your body just doesn't know how to like process that, or you're going to get anxiety. There's just, people can tolerate caffeine at different levels. So if you notice right off the bat that it's just not making you feel good, stop drinking it. Number 5, write it down. So write down the things that are stressing you. Write them down on a piece of paper. Try to write down something that you're grateful for. Write down something that you're grateful for that will override that. And if that doesn't work, write all your worries down on a piece of paper, like I did. Rip them up and toss them. Just, they don't serve you. Pretend that those worries that you just wrote on a piece of paper, like that's it. That's the last time you're going to see them. Rip them up, throw them away, and ba-boom, bada-bam, gone. Guarantee it. But you got to give it away. You got to give it away. You got to mean it. You got to really manifest that thought, saying you're not going to deal with it anymore. It's not going to, this certain issue in your life is not going to overrun you anymore, and just let it go. Number 6, chew gum. I used to be like a really big gum chewer back in the day, but I kind of like slowed down for a bit. I have my phases, my seasons, you know what I mean? It's a quick, easy stress reliever though, because from what I've been told and from what I've experienced is that when you're stressing about something or you're having anxiety about something, most of the time your mind is working against you. So I would definitely say find something to focus on at that moment. So chewing gum is definitely something good so that it can take you out of that mindset. So just chew some gum, get yourself back into focus. Try your best to relax, go with the rhythm of the gum chewing. Number 7, spend time with friends and family. This is a really good one because, sometimes, social support from your friends and family could be such a good stress reliever, because sometimes you feel like you don't want to put your stress on other people. If you're somebody like me who just, you don't want to put that kind of thing on your family, you don't rather not talk about it, this is actually something that's very helpful. Sometimes your family can give you a sense of belonging, a self-worth, and they can help you in those tough times, but you just have to open up to those possibilities. You can't just be like, no, I'm on my own, because we're never truly on our own, you know what I mean? Number 8, laugh it off, stop being so serious. Shake yourself off, dance to a song if you need to, call a friend, FaceTime somebody, go for a walk, go for a drive, listen to a song that you like from back in the day, whatever it is. I'm just giving ideas. You have to get your mind into this thought process where you're relieving your stress responses, and you're also relieving tension that's in your body, because maybe you're just like, I don't know, you're like losing it, Laughter can actually help improve your immune system and your mood in general. So why wouldn't you want to laugh? Because, that's all I'm saying. So there was a study that said that among people with cancer, found that people in the laughter intervention group experienced more stress relief than those who are simply just distracted. Try watching a funny TV show or hanging out with friends who make you laugh, put yourself in that environment around positive people that make you laugh and that bring you joy. Number 9, this is probably like the biggest one. So, there was a time in my life where I just didn't know how to tell people no, and you'd be surprised how much that can make you anxious, how much that can make you feel so stressed, because sometimes you just can't say no. You don't know how to tell people no, because it's like you want to be there for people, you want to help people out, but then in the long run you're like stressing yourself out. So take control over the parts of your life that you can change that are causing you stress. One way to do this is by saying no more often. And you're not a bad guy, you're not a bad person for saying no. Just say no if you need to, you know what I mean? No one says that you have to be perfect. No one says that because, you don't say yes that it makes you a bad person, because you're not, especially if it's like causing you stress or it's causing you to go out of your way when you at the moment just can't do that. Especially this could be true if you find yourself one of those people that's just, you said yes to somebody, it's making you take on more than you can actually handle, or juggling so many responsibilities to the point where it's making you feel overwhelmed.
No, sirree. No. You gotta say no. Put your foot down. Put the other foot down. Put your arm down. Put the other arm down. Just do what you gotta do. You feel me?
Being selective about what you take on, it gives you that like willpower. Like it's like you're taking your power back. You're like, oh, okay, it gives you more control over your situation, instead of saying yes to something that is just out of your control type of thing. You know what I mean? 10, learn to avoid procrastination. So this is like a really big one. Another one to take control of your stress is to stay on top of your priorities. Stop procrastinating, honestly. Like just stop doing that. Don't do that. Why are you doing that? Don't be a procrastinator. Procrastination can lead to act reactively. So, leaving you scrambling to catch up to things, or, this can cause you stress, and it could just cause you to act in a very negative way. And it can affect your health. It can affect your sleep quality. And like, why would you want those kind of things for yourself? Like, ultimately, like, you have to take control of these things. Get into the habit of creating a list of things that you have to do. Make those things your priority, especially if you know those are things that are going to cause you to be stressed if you do not get them under control. Give yourself realistic deadlines and work your way down that list. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be like something so insignificant to something that's very significant. Work on the things that need to get done today, and then give yourself some chunks of uninterrupted time, so that way you can feel good about yourself. You don't have to feel stressed. You can be really happy, and you can be really joyful. Number 11, take a yoga class. I know you're like, what? I'm not good at yoga. You know what? It's good for you. I'm not necessarily like the best yoga master or whatever, but you know what? I will go to YouTube and I will find one and I will try it, especially if it's gonna make my body feel less stressed. Yoga styles are always so different, but they always share one common goal. The common goal of yoga is to join your body and your mind together. Because you're aware of your body as you're doing these moves, you have to be very, one with body and mind type of mindset. So they're really good. The breath awareness in your body. So you're focused on yourself in the breathing instead of like other things mentally. Like you have to focus on you or else you can end up getting hurt. There has been some studies that have basically examined the effects that yoga has on people's mental health. Overall, research found that yoga can enhance your mood, obviously be an effective antidepressant. So drugs are treating like kind of like the way people take drugs to treat it, to treat depression and anxiety. That's the effect that yoga has on your body, but naturally, without having to take pills. Why would you not want to try that? In general, the benefit of yoga for stress and anxiety seems to be related in effects to the nervous system and the stress response that your body has on it. And so definitely go out to your local gym, try a yoga class. What have you got to lose? Oh, I'll tell you what you got to lose. You got to lose stress, all right? I'm talking to you. Number 12, I've always talked about this for ever in different episodes. So practice mindfulness. Mindfulness describes the practice that anchors you to your present moment. You know, a lot of us are too busy looking way too far back or going way too far forward. Just focus on right now. Like what you got in front of you. Like, what have you got today? What have you have accessible to you? What can you actually do right now that's not going to cause you stress? That's not going to make you feel anxiety? Like, what can you control? Ask yourself that. All right? And the things that you can't control, like I said earlier, write them on a piece of paper, toss them away, rip it up, toss it away. Imagine that just being like you saying, I am done. You have to try your best. You have to start practicing this. It becomes a habit, just like anything else in your life. Like the fact that you wake up and a couple hours later you're like, I'm hungry, or I need to do this, or I need to brush my teeth. It's going to become a habit forming thing just like that. Number 13, this one's super cute. I know. Prepare for it. Cuddle, kissing, hugging, sex can all help relieve stress, okay? Positive physical contact can release oxytocin and lower your cortisol levels in your body. This can help lower blood pressure and heart rate, both of which are physical symptoms of stress. So, you know, interestingly enough, all these things can actually relieve stress. So if you have someone that you can cuddle with, even if it's your pillow, you know, cuddle with your pillow, you know, cuddle with the stuffed animal, whatever makes you happy. But just, you know, if you have a puppy, you have a cat, you have an animal, you have a significant other, find those ways to get that stress releasing chemical going in your body. Number 14, listen to soothing music. Listening to music can be a very relaxing effect on the body. So as of recently, I started really thinking about this more in depth. I started thinking about music, the type of music that I listen to. I never gave it much thought because all my life I've obviously really loved music. And I know you guys love music too. Who doesn't? Like, you'd have to be just downright crazy if you didn't love music. You feel me? So I started really thinking about the negative effects that music can actually have on our minds and our bodies. And I really started thinking about the music that I listen to. And I started, you know, saying like, hey, you know, what am I giving my time to? What am I giving my mind to? You feel me? I started listening to music that are like feeding me positive messages. Even the music that I thought was like good for me, turns out that it's just not. Like, psychologically, there is music that is just putting stuff in your brain that, you know, you got to really think about what you're listening to. I'm just saying, like, really think this through of what you're listening to and what they are programming your body and your mind to feel. And you have to take control. And there is music, let me tell you, I found so much good music that's just feeding me so much positivity, and I'm making that a part of my, you know, daily stress relieving things. And to be honest, I don't really find myself that stressed. You know, as of recently, I don't really find myself stressing about really much of anything. Like, I'm not trying to brag either. I'm just telling you guys, like, the reality. I could tell you guys right now, like, what it is, but chances are, you know, some of you may not be ready to listen to that. That's okay. If you feel like you are, drop a comment down below. I'll gladly tell you what's helping me out, like number one priority, you know, and that's that man above right there. So, you know, I don't really feel that, you know, but I'm saying, like, definitely aside of like the therapeutic things like nature sounds and stuff like that, I'm saying, like, really consider what you're listening to, consider what you're watching, because all these things have to do with, you know, you feeling stressed, you feeling anxious. And I didn't even really think about those things, you know, to a certain degree. But I started thinking about them a lot lately. Every so many few years, you know, we go through this mental growth. We go through another transition in our life. But honestly, this is me trying to help you guys, the people that watch my show. I really appreciate you guys coming every week, just giving me feedback. we have to incorporate some of these good things, these positive messages through music into our lives, because we may not see it, but we feel it at night. If you're waking up a lot and you're finding yourself not able to sleep, you have to ask yourself, what are you watching and listening that's still going to bed with you to your thoughts? And it's true. Maybe we don't want to hear it. Maybe we're like, oh no, no, that's not me. But I mean, how good of rest are you getting? Prioritizing in your life. And you have to ask yourself these questions. Number 15, deep breathing. This is a really big one. Sometimes you can go on about your day and you don't even realize how messed up our breathing is, because our mind is just so full of like fight or flight mode, We're just like
Boom, 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 thinking of a million things. Oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. I have to go wash this, I gotta do my laundry, I gotta make it here at this time.
Whatever your case may be, whatever your story is, because we all have a story, is that you have to focus on your breathing. Take a moment sometimes and just breathe for 5 minutes. Just help slow your heart rate down, because you'd be surprised how much we go through the day nowadays, especially now in 2021, this new year. We're already in the second month of the year. And sometimes we don't even stop to just, we're just like going and going and going, talking and talking and talking, texting and texting and texting, working and working and working, answering phone calls, helping people, tending to our kids, tending to our husband, boyfriends, whatever your story is. You have to understand that you have to stop and take a deep breath, Please, this is me asking you, be aware of yourself. Be aware of what you're putting your mind and your body through. Don't ever say that you can't overcome things when you can. It's just that you can't overcome your habits. That's what it is. I have another episode too talking about habits, so you can go back, scroll through my videos and watch that one, because you want to talk about habits, go to that one. And that one just slaps some sense right into you feel me? Number 16, spend some time with your pets. I have pets myself. In my house in general, we have 2 cats. We have 3 cats in total, actually. A guinea pig, a lizard, 2 mice. We have pets in this house, you feel me? And just sometimes picking up an animal can be such a stress reducing improvement for your mood. And just sometimes I could just come in, walk through my room, see my cats, and I'm just pick them up, and I feel so much joy and so much happiness that I'm just what was I stressed about? Why was I feeling some type of way? They kind of help you put things into perspective. Having a pet, gives you a different purpose. They keep you active, providing companionship, and these are all qualities to help you reduce stress, but they're also just give you something else to focus on besides yourself and the things that you got going on in your life. The bottom line is that anxiety and stress, they can just pop up anywhere, in your personal life, in your work life, but there's always ways to help you reduce those feelings, and not just reduce them, but to overcome those things. And you don't have to live your life according to others. You don't have to live your life with this lingering feeling over yourself, hanging like a gloomy gray cloud for the rest of your life. Because you have to ask yourself, what kind of life do you want? Where do you want to go with this? This is just me, Vanessa Herrera, saying, take your life back, take your freedom back, take your happiness back, and just glow. Just glow. And this can go for anyone, There's plenty of men out there that I know that are stressing about things that are just not good for you. They're irrelevant. You can't control those things. There's women that are doing the same thing. But we have to just start thinking and more presently, more about what we are able to control, and just give all those things away. Give them away. I'm telling you, they will not serve you. The reason why I just wanted to talk about all those things, because social media can play such a good role in our lives, but it can also be such a dampering thing in our lives, There's the good and the bad. You can put them on a scale, and I guarantee you that if doing them with the right mindset, they could be balanced, right? But because we give so much more thought to the bad, of course it's gonna override. But if you think about social media and the good things that it can actually do for you, which is staying connected with family, friends, all those things by email, text, FaceTime, etc., You have quick access to information at any time and research at your fingertips. You can pay bills by banking, and you could do online learning, job skills. You can constantly discover things through YouTube. Hello, that's what we got right here in front of you, okay? Involvement in civic engagement like fundraising, social awareness, great marketing tool, opportunities to do remote employment, which is what a lot of people started doing in 2020, what we're also still doing in 2021. But if you look at the bad things, online versus reality, always comes a bad along with the good, which social media in itself is not the problem. It's the way people use social media. So that's where the issues arise, One of the things that I noticed is that you can have friends on social media, but they may not be your friends. Maybe they don't really care or look out for your best interest. And you have to think about those things. Increased usage too. Let's talk about that. If we want to talk about the bad, the more time we spend on social media can lead to cyberbullying, social anxiety, depression, exposure to content that is not of age appropriate for maybe teenagers or kids that are watching my show. Social media can be an addicting thing, just like anything else. We can get addicted to habits, addicted to checking like messages, likes, responding to people, and giving our time away. All those things play into your stress. All those things play into your anxiety. All of these go hand in hand. Okay. Fear of missing out. It's a common thing there. That's some of the bad things. You always feel like, oh, I'm missing out on something. I'm missing out. You're not missing out. You're not missing out if you're happy. You're not missing out if you're not stressed. You're not missing out if you're not having anxiety. You're not feeling depression if you're not feeling sad. You ain't missing out. You got to think about that. Self-image issues. A lot of people out there tend to compare themselves to the life that somebody else have. But what life will you have if you're not letting go of those things that are stressing you out? If you're not letting those worries go? There's so many ugly things that we won't talk about. Talk about what social media has done for people last year, the suicide rate and all these things. Because all of these things led up to that. And not getting things under control. I offered you these tips because I'm really hoping that they will help somebody, and that it will make you think differently about how you're investing your time and what you're giving your mind to. Because if you give these things your mind, then you will have absolutely no control over what you can and can't do. You feel me? So thank you so much for watching today's show. I hope that something I said here today, did I just say something? But I hope something I said here today really helped you out. And if you feel like it did, do not forget to give this video a thumbs up on your way out. As always, you guys know that if you have any questions about today's show and it impacted you, and you said to yourself, Vanessa, something you said here today really helped me out, and I want to message you about it, feel free to email me at peopletalknow@hotmail.com, and I always answer back. I always reply to you guys because your input really matters to me. Because if you're a loyal watcher and you have something to say, please feel free to reach out to me. Don't be shy. Okay? So yes, as always, you guys know that I like to leave every show with a joke and a word of the day, because I like you guys leaving with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of humor. So let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. Sorry. Okay, so let's go with today's joke of the day. Today's joke of the day is called Invisible Man. A psychiatrist's secretary walked into a study and said, "There's a gentleman in the waiting room asking to see you. He claims he's invisible." The psychiatrist responded, "Tell him I can't see him." Yeah, I could totally understand why he would say that. But if you're laughing, I appreciate you though. So let's go right into today's word of the day. So today's word of the day is
Esoteric.
esoteric. Esoteric is spelled ESOTERIC. The definition is designed for or understood by those with specific knowledge or training, difficult to understand, limited to a small circle, private, confidential, or special, rare, or unusual interest. So there you go. There's the word esoteric. Go out and use it in a sentence, and then hashtag People Talk Now. Let me know how you would use it in a sentence. So yes, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys all so much. For all my people that are constantly giving me positive feedback, I love you guys. You guys keep me going. And there's times where I want to stop too. I'm just like, what is the point? But you know what, you guys are my point. This is why I started this, because I want to help people out with any kind of different advices that I could put out there. Anything that I could help nurture and just help somebody think differently, and really just appreciate the life that you have, to make something of it, and to, if I can bring more happiness and less sadness, you feel me? So thank you. You've been following my show every weekend and week out for these past 74 episodes. I love you so much, and continue watching, continue sharing. So yes, as always, you guys know, do not forget to hit that like button on your way out, because I don't need it, but it helps, for me to continue doing what I'm doing. Do not forget to share with your friends and your family and loved ones. Let them know about People Talk Now, and say, yo, this girl got fire stuff that she's always talking about. She knows a little something, so share it. And as always, do not forget to hit that subscribe button down below, so that way we can continue growing the People Talk Now family. I love you guys. But most importantly, as always, you guys know I tell you at the end of every video, do not forget to hit that bell notification right here, that one right there, because every time you hit it, the listener and the watcher, that lets you know every time I post new content, you can see my face, we can see each other, and yeah, and you won't miss anything. So yes, thank you guys so much. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Bye.